I think we're live. Hello, hello. There's nobody in the chat. Nobody watching yet, but whatever. Excuse my voice and my sniffing. I've got a bit of a heavy cold, so it is what it is. I'm doing two things today. First thing is I'm playing with OpenBSD VMM. And I wrote a script that manages VMM for you. Well, yeah, sort of. So I've got like the output of it here. When you're not root, it will try do as and re-execute itself. And then if you have it set up that way, it will ask for your password and whatever. So yeah, okay. So and it does several things. So you got like the output output of the usage here. Basically, what it first I'm gonna tell you how it's set up because that's just handy to know, and it's also good. It gives any of those people that are catching this a reason to rewind to the beginning to see like the explanation, like what everything is, because I'm getting into that. And that cat in the background, that is my Bengal called Freya, and I don't know what the hell she's doing. Adventuring, I think. If something drops off, okay. Another thing, I'm also debugging an audio problem with sndio. And yeah, I'm using my own written streaming script that for OpenBSD that I will release soon. It has several new features and a bit of tweaking. It's also capable of streaming for people that don't have hardware accelerated encoding. It will detect if it's enabled, if it's possible to hardware encode, and when it sees that it can, it will. And if it doesn't, it will use a different encoder, which is not accelerated, which is purely CPU bound. So there. Yeah, but I'll be releasing that soon. I have to manage a few things. If you hear any audio dropping or stuttering or whatever, please let me know in the chat. I've got it here. You can all see yourself chat as well. So, okay, let's get into VMM. So yeah, this is basically my tool. VM Manager, very original name. Yeah, it requires curl. Curl it needs because it will fetch these ISOs by itself. I am going to do a custom ISO that you can provide your own, but for now it just does Debian, Ubuntu, Alpine, and OpenBSD. So basically, I use these two. I might change these though, but to something else. But I use these two, so you can, if you have a stable system, you can start a VM with a snapshot, which is basically current. And you can also test things on stable when you're in current. That's why I put these here. And I'll probably demo with these because I have them cached. I have them downloaded anyway. So yeah, let's get into VMM. So to enable, you first have to enable it. And the script does not do that for you. You have to do it because you have to be, hey, I'm going to use VMM now. So you have to at least know how to enable it. And this script will set up DHCP, a virtual switch, and some bridging and like a virtual network. So your VMs can also talk to each other because the vPort switch basically acts like a switch, and you can plug your VMs in there, and then they can all talk to each other. and DHCPD only services that network. So it doesn't clash with like your existing network. It won't hand out any leases in your normal like RFC 1918 network or anything. So it won't clash. So yeah. So how is it set up? First, you have to enable VMD. VMD is the virtual machine daemon. That's the service. It's already enabled, so it doesn't do anything. And then you need to start it. And it's already started here. As you can see, of course. So, yeah. VMD, the VMM uses a config file. It's vm.conf. And there's already a virtual machine in here. This is the switch. This is the bridge. We'll get to that in a bit. So yeah, the script puts this here, but it's a no-op. But right, doesn't really matter. This is configurable. This is configurable. It will use that switch, and then disable means that it won't get started when VMD gets started. And this is to not swamp your machine when you if you have like 50 VMs or something, and you don't have that disable in all of them, it will start all those 50 VMs and it will swamp your machine. So you don't want that. So I put disable in there. You have to start everything by hand. If you want to change that, you have to change the config file. But my script will always do disable there. So here, the cat wants to enter a room that she's not allowed into. Yeah, I see you. You gonna say hi to the people on YouTube? Here. Hello. This is little Freya. She is 2 years old. And she likes everything. She's not a big cuddler, but she likes giving things headbutts. And she likes to do cat crypto by standing on the laptop keyboard. Close this. So, yes. Now you cannot break anything. Yeah, she loves me very much. That's coffee. That's not for you. All right. Are you done? How you want to say hi to the people on YouTube? If you hear any scratching, that's her headbutting of the microphone. Yeah? Are you done? Yeah? Everything is yours now? Yeah? Yeah, you want to get all the attention, don't you? All right, come here. Yeah, on the floor you go. Bye-bye. So, after that little interruption... right, so, where were we? Okay, yeah, so that's the config. So this creates one virtual machine that connects to this switch. And if you use the standard tools, it's vmctl. And if you use vmctl show, you see which VMs you have. You can also start them from here. Start Ubuntu 2.4, and it says operation not permitted, but we'll get into that later. So you have to do as. So now you see the VM is running. It's booting. You can also attach a console to it. Do as, of course. It's booting. So this is Ubuntu the latest, I believe. The script will always get the latest. I might put that you can also supply a version or something that it will find the ISO for it and download it. It will download it using curl, and it will also resume downloads. Except for OpenBSD snapshots, it will always fetch a fresh one, because if it doesn't make sense to cache a snapshot, because they get regenerated every day. So yeah, let's wait for this to boot. Hopefully we see any of the other cats. I've got more. Ah, it's done. So here we are, Ubuntu. And yeah, it's running Linux. What I've also done is that you can also clone VMs. So you make one install of an OS how you like it, with your users and your preferred software and whatever. And then you can copy the QCOW file, but I'll show you. So I'll create a VM manually so you guys can see how it's done. Yeah, so Ubuntu, yay, and it's also networked. I'm working on supporting IPv6 as well. For now, it's IPv4 only, but IPv6 will come as well, because I have to figure out, if you have IPv6 running on OpenBSD, I have to figure out which subnet you are on, and then I will have to allocate one. And then I have to, yeah, maybe run like a SLAAC or something like that. And then it should give you an IP address and also forward the packets. And right now it doesn't do any of that. For now it's IPv4 only. So yeah, it has a link local here, but hey, yeah, it's Linux with the colors and stuff. Hey, up is green, yay! So yeah, Ubuntu. So how do you, right now you're in the console. So you can also secure shell into it. So if you want to exit the console, you do, because it's using CU. And to exit CU, first I'll log out. To exit CU, you do tilde, period. If it doesn't work, hit enter a few times, then try it again. You see EOT, now you're back in your BSD prompt. Yeah, so you can also secure shell in. As you can see, IP number is here. Oh, yeah, I knew that would happen. I have to remove that. I've been handling that IP a lot because I was messing with the script. So you can secure shell in. There you go. With Ubuntu, the Ubuntu install, if you have like a GitHub account and have your SSH keys uploaded, it will put them in your install and provision them automatically. Otherwise, you have to do it yourself. So yeah, hey, it has updates, but I'm not gonna bother with that for now. I'll get out of here. So yeah, now we're back in our thing and in our shell. So yeah, it's running, but now we want to stop it. So we do vmctl stop. Oh, of course, do as, because I don't own the thing. And it stopped. It's no longer running. Very cool. Yeah, so how do we create a new VM? Well, let's okay, so empty folder. So vmctl create. You need to give a size. Let's do 20 gigs. Test VM, right? .qcow2 because that's the format. You can also use QEMU image to manipulate these, like to create snapshots and stuff like that. So yeah, so as you can see, it created a 20 gig QCOW, but it's not 20 gigs, of course. But to the VM, it will look to be 20 gigs. So now we want to create a VM. Let's I have a bunch of ISOs here. Let's install the OpenBSD. Okay. Of course, that's not gonna work. Let's copy it there. Yeah. No. Let's move it over. So yeah, we have two files. We have an ISO and we have the disk, right? So create. No. Start. So let's see. Start. We need. Okay. So first I have to tell you how I set this up, and also how the script will set it up. You need a couple of things. First, you need these. You need these two. That's the vport one is basically it sets up a router of some sort. So it's this network. So it's 10.0.0.0. That's the network. And then this will add this into a bridge. And then it will bring it up. So we do ifconfig. The vport is here. You see that it has like here. It has the network, and then this makes it available. And VMD with VMDCTL will add the hosts here on the bridge. And the corresponding tab devices. So yeah. So Yeah. What was that? Oh, sorry for the interruption. Oh yeah, so where was I? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, so this is the switch, and the switch points to this interface. So any new VM will be attached to this interface, the VEB0. So it needs to be do as, because we'll connect to that switch, VM switch. We have to add a disk. We boot from this one, and then we need that one. We have one interface. Let's do 2 gigs of memory. Only one CPU. VMD doesn't do multiple CPUs yet. And then, well, it needs a name, I guess. -C, because we want to immediately attach the console. And let's call it test VM. Not a bootable disk. Why can't it install? What am I doing wrong? Stop. You can also do 3. Do as. Let's try this again. -B. Oh, -B. Okay, let's check my notes. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Hang on. Right. Okay. Oh, it's not there. Okay, it was a wrong parameter. The ISO needs to be -R. Here we go. So it now booted the CD-ROM. I'm just gonna blaze through this. This is basically an OpenBSD install. So let's install OpenBSD. Yeah, foo is fine. I'm not even gonna bother with creating a user. I'm just gonna blow through this. So that's the virtual interface. Autoconf is fine. No IPv6. Yep, I'm done. Root password. Let's give it 1. Yep. I just go with defaults, everything. Set up user, no, don't bother. Yeah, no, just automatic layout, sure. CD0, sure. Yeah, all the sets. Yeah, I don't care. So now it's installing. This is probably the fastest OpenBSD install you've ever seen. Okay, I'm done with the sets. Oh, I have to be focus follows mouse. Haha. I'm done with the sets. Does all the things. It gets the firmware. It relinks the kernel. And this takes a bit because it's one CPU. Yeah, reboot, that's fine. So it will reboot the VM. Yeah, you can just enter, it will just start in the VM. Yeah, it will look for binary patches. And it will find a few, no doubt. Yep, so it gets those from the internet, so it is connected. So yeah, I've got a system called foo, and it's connected to the network. And I can go outside, and I can resolve stuff. And there's also a trick to that, by the way, but I'll get into that. I'll get to that in a moment. So you've got a VM running. Just log out. Okay, I'll see when it doesn't work. Just hit enter and do it again. So now we have a VM running. It's running from. This thing has suddenly grown in size. Suddenly it's 2.2 gigabytes big. Yeah, it's pretty cool, ain't it? So yeah, basically it's done. So what you can do now is stop the VM. So vmctl stop 3. It's a lot less typing that way. You see it's stopping. It's doing a graceful shutdown. Basically akin to like a SPI stop something. So now it's gone. If you want to make it permanent, you can just start it. If you want to make it permanent, go to vm.com. Let's do as. And we have to make a new entry. So this VM is called test VM. Memory, let's do 2 gigs. Their case doesn't matter. Disk was in home. I think it was there. In so yeah, but if you change this, you have to restart vmctl. So there's probably a typo in there, knowing myself. No. Oh no typo, it works. So now it will have it right here with ID number 2. So now I can do as vmctl start test VM. And you can add a console 2. You see it's booting. There you go. Boot it. But we're not going to log in. I'm not going to mess with it. stop. Stopping it. Okay, so how does it get an IP? Well, this is what the script will do for you. It will add a rule to your pf.conf. Dus zo yeah, this is if this one and the other one are quite similar. This one is for when you use local interface, so interface local minus capital L. Just read the manual page, and it uses this. It always uses this subnet 164.0.0/10, and usually this is the ID of the VM, and this is some number. And also what we also do is redirect all DNS traffic to unwind. And that's also something we enable. We discussed that last time. So it will redirect all the DNS to your local unwind, so you don't leak anything. So any DNS traffic, it will redirect it to your local unwind sitting on your host. And this is for the switch vport 0. That's the virtual port. That's the VM switch. That's what all the VMs are connected to. Of course, those things need to get for this VMD has its own sort of DHCP server. But for this you have to supply one yourself, and luckily OpenBSD has one built in. It's called the HCPD, and you configure it as such. So yeah, this is the subnet. It will set 1111, but you can put anything. It doesn't really matter. As long as it goes outside of your network, then it's fine. But not 164. That won't work. It needs to be an external network, and doesn't matter where it is. It will always go to your unwind, and this is the range that I've set. So yeah. So yeah, that's how you basically set up a VM. So let's just clean up my mess a bit, because now we're going to look at my script, because that does a lot more. VM.conf. Okay, let's get that out of here. Okay, do srcctl restart, if I can type it correctly, vmd. All right. Yeah, one VM. And we can throw these away. All right. Okay, this is the script. I just executed it again so you can see the usage. I don't know why it does that for the usage, but hey, whatever. So yeah, as you saw, there was already a VM installed. I've installed this VM with this script. So this script knows about it. So if you do VM manager list, it will give you an overview of what it has. So this is the metadata that it has. So it actually constantly recreates the vm.conf file using this. And this is the ISOs that it has. And if you add a VM, it will also add it to etc hosts. So if, for instance, if I do VM manager start this, it will wait until it sees a new leash on the DHCPD, and it will get the IP number from that, because the new leash is probably the new VM starting up. Yeah, it takes a while to boot. It will also ping the address to see if, to make sure that it's up, and it will. That doesn't really matter. Oh, but now it doesn't. It probably took a bit longer. Okay, let's vmctl. Who's the owner? Oh, the owner will have to do that. CTL connect console. Yeah, Ubuntu takes a while to boot. Did I just break it? Oh yeah, no, it takes a while to boot. Probably have to, I probably have to put the timeout a bit longer, maybe 60 seconds. I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, it works. But so you can start VMs with this. You can also stop VMs with this. So if I stop, and now let's list it. So it stopped. It's very quick in stopping. But more fun is like creating VMs. So let's create an OpenBSD VM with this. So you now know how everything works, how you create VMs. This just does all the steps for you, right? So you do create, and you can do you give it a name, test VM, and you want it to be an OpenBSD stable. Yeah, it already has the ISO here, so it doesn't need to download it, so it won't. Yeah, but and after this, with you can also give it another disk size and memory. I'm probably gonna make this editable, that so it will update the metadata, and that you can like give it more memory or something. Not on the fly, alas, that doesn't work. How's my audio, by the way? Hope it's fine. I don't see any dropped frames, so that should be good. So yeah, it will by default it will do 1 gig memory, 20 gigs of disk, I think. So you just do this, and then you do. There you go. Now you're. It will create the QCOW, and it will start. It will start the thing. So yeah, let's install it. I'm just gonna fly through here, mostly accepting defaults. Yeah, whatever. Oh, it wants a password. Yeah, fine. No user, no. Yeah, that's also fine. Yep. Auto layout, sure. Yep. Yeah, I don't care. Installing. So I'm going through the install again just to show you that you can also clone these things. And then you don't have to do the install every time. Just set it up once, tweak it how you like it as a base, and then just clone it. And then when 7.7 comes out, you have to do it again. Never mind. Hang on. I'm curious about something. I don't like the sound of my own voice, but just had an idea. I can check how the audio is by starting the YouTube stream here and listening to it on the headphones, so I don't get any feedback. It's brilliant. Let's do that. Let's see. I have to go to YouTube Studio. It's probably going to be very weird to hear myself back. Let's see, live. I'm live right now. No, I want to go to the stream. Okay. How's the audio? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Audio is cool. It's well, I will review it later, but yeah. Yeah, I just typed that message. So yeah, it's done. No, it was the thing that you saw before. Let's just oh yeah. As for the weird sounding audio, it seems that most audio interfaces don't really like it when you plug a USB interface, audio interface in USB 3. They don't really like it. So I had to plug my mouse into a USB 3 port and my audio interface in a USB 2 port. My PC only has, on the back, only has 2 USB 2 ports, and those are for keyboard and mouse. But now it's also it's in my interface. Maybe I should attach a hub for those kind of things, but oh well. Yeah, okay, so it's installed. Cool. Let's log in. Okay, let's check if it's got a network. Hey, so let's shut it down cleanly. Yep, installation complete. So now when we do list, now you see that this VM has been added, and it's also here, and blah, blah, whatever. So when we start the test VM, and OpenBSD boots a lot faster here than Ubuntu or Debian. And let's wait for it. So yeah, it will give you the IP number, and also it will add it to etc hosts. Where did this one come from? Whatever. Let's get rid of it. It's old testing thing. So yeah, so it will look like this, and it will preserve the entries that you have, of course. So now you can do SSH. This won't work because we disabled the root login. Yeah, you can do it, whatever. That won't work. But hey, it tries to log in, and you can also attach to the console, of course. But I don't do that with the script. I could, but so now this test VM is still owned by root, and the user cannot touch it. So let's give it to this Andrath person that is powerless or something. So I'm gonna give test VM to Andrath. So right now you see that the owner is Andrath now, and if you see, I think I just found a bug, but now this test VM entry has changed. It doesn't look like this anymore. It now looks like this. So it has another owner, and it has some permissions added. Now I, as a normal user, I can start test VM. I think I found a bug. I'll fix that later. It was running, and then it doesn't work. So now it's shutting the VM down and restarting the daemon. Okay. It was not a bug. It was just my stupidity. Yeah, okay. As you can see, owner is now me. You can also see it here. Owner is me. Owner is me. You can always use it to double check. And it has a host file entry. Very cool. Now, as a non-root, not root. Let's do -C, and then we attach the console. Let's boot it. Now I own that VM. I'm now the owner of that VM. It's mine. Yay. Emil, Andrath. My name is Emil, by the way. No problem that you guys know this. Oh, Andrath, user add, -N, Andrath. I don't care, just do it. Okay. So yeah. Yay. So yeah, I can get out of here. Cool. Test VM. Does it have the same IP number? No, I got a new one. Because oh, I know why. Because I didn't start it through the thing, so it doesn't update the host file. So yeah. Okay, it should now be stopped. Yes, it's also removed from here. You see that? So now when I... But now you can, now that other user has control, if you're not going to mess with it any further, now the user has control of that VM. He or she can start it, stop it, whatever. So yes, you can give it away. So when Android is misbehaving, you can also take it back. So you can take the test VM. And now it's owned by root again. Now Android cannot touch it. And if you look at it regenerated it. And now the owner Android and the allow interface blah 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 blah, that stuff is gone. So it will just basically regenerate vm.conf with any mutation that you make, and it will restart VMD. So yeah, what else can you do? You can also install Linux VMs, but yeah, you have to. The trick with those Linux VMs, it's okay with Alpine. I could show an Alpine install, but it's okay with Alpine. But with the likes of Debian, Ubuntu, well, Rocky as well, you have to set the console. I can demonstrate this. So let's create test VM2 and let's do Debian. So now you get this graphical installer, and well, basically what you have to do is you have to hit tab. You can remove quiet if you want to, but and then you have to change the console, and the speed. This also helps. So now, and then hit space here with Debian. Otherwise, you're stuck. And then you get into the Debian install. Also, a cool feature from this this thing is when you abort, it will also clean up. See, it will also clean up the mess, so you don't have. Yeah, let's go into the directory structure so you can like navigate in there. So the VMs they always go in here. So test VM, and the test VM always has a link to the installation ISO and the QCOW, and archived VMs go into the archive there. Let me show you that. It's actually nifty. If you want to delete a VM, you have to archive it first. So that's basically to protect you from accidentally deleting VMs that you don't want to delete. So and restoring an archive is a bit painful, but you can always import it again, and then you can also import it again. But if you want to, let's archive the VM and just demonstrate it. Let's archive the test VM. So archive test VM. So it will take it out of the vm.conf. It will not be bootable anymore. But it will now, if you do info, it will show you that it's archived. And the archive is in /var vmm archive. Archive. And you also see it here in the metadata. And now you can delete it. And you should do it through that because it will also then update the metadata. Yeah, so so that's basically a script to manage all your VMs. And now, well, for the people that are just watching, if you really want to know how it exactly works, how to set up vmctl, well, yeah, you could you rewind. So let's take a look at the script itself, what it does, because it does a couple of things when you run it. You have to be wary of that. If you have an elaborate setup already set up with VMM, don't use this. Or send me patches to not touch it. So, that's the setup. So this is what it does. It sets up the environment. I might put a flag that skips it, but then I have to do a lot of discovery. Basically what this does, it will create those vport and VEB interfaces, and it will start them, of course, so you can use them. It will also check already if they're there. It won't touch them if they're not there. It will generate a VM.conf with just a switch in it, with the VEB0 interface, so you have something you have a switch that you can use. And it sets the right permissions. Then it will generate the DHCPD config, it will also check if the subnet is already defined. It will not touch it otherwise. Otherwise, it will just set a range, and then it will check if there's if it's already configured with vport 0. If it's not, it will not touch it. It will also enable unwind for you, and it will add PF rule to allow traffic from the VM switch, and also it will also redirect all DNS traffic to your unwind, and then it will start everything. That's basically what it does. And then this is for an old metadata format that we used to use, and basically the rest it's all KSH. It's all corn shell. It's not bash. This will the only thing it will need is it requires curl. So you need to install curl if you don't have it. You probably have it. If you actually use an OpenBSD box, you probably already have curl. The reason that I don't use FTP to fetch files, this thing used to do that. The reason that I don't is because FTP cannot resume downloads, and curl can. So I'm using curl. It's also so it uses curl. Another fun thing is how it fetches ISOs. So basically it uses some some trickery to get the latest version, and it will get an ISO, and it will just curl it. It will just download it with the progress bar. So I can actually demonstrate this. If, for instance, if I create a test VM, that's OpenBSD snapshot. It will always fetch a snapshot. Yeah, you can't really see this. Let me get this out of the way. Maybe get some new coffee. So yeah, it will download a new snapshot. And it will boot into it. 7.7. There you go. Latest snapshot of March 7th. That's is that today? Yeah, that's today. Yeah, but I'm not going to install a current because I'm already running current. So yeah, so it would basically what it does, it checks the cow2 file size. It checks if it's bigger than 10 megabytes. If it's bigger than 10, if it's smaller than 10 megabytes, you probably have a failed install. Probably. So yeah, that's my VM management script. I will probably put this on GitHub as well, just as my recording script for streaming that I'm using right now. Oh, hang on. Let me just put myself back here. Let's check on the audio for a bit. Oh, it's still good. That's cool. Yeah. And how long have I been streaming? Does it say anywhere? Oh, for an hour. That's nice. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, oh yeah, there's some videos I want to do. I want to touch the ad blocking with Unwind, and also I still have to do some testing with the streaming script because it assumes that you have only a USB interface as an audio interface, and you don't use onboard audio. So I have to somehow maybe check which is the default audio interface and use that or something like that. I have to figure that out. It's also that script uses, well, of course, uses FFmpeg. And it's also pure KSH, pure Korn shell. So yeah, so no bash. You don't need bash. You don't need ZSH. Just Korn shell. Nothing more. Nothing. You don't need anything more. So yeah, I think yeah. If you're watching this after the fact, let me know in the comments. Yeah, what do you think of this script? And I will probably add some more stuff, some quality of life things. Yeah, and you'll probably I'll probably make a GitHub with this stuff, a repo with all these things in it. It might be yeah, call it the YouTube repo or something like that with these scripts in there. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. I'll see you guys around until the next live stream. Well, yeah, see you around. Bye. Oh, yeah. Offline.